Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here designing today for Tailored Made Cards for You. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm on the design team. I'm so excited. I'm so honored. So here's a bunch of printables for the first kit that I printed up. And today I'm going to make 4 cards using elements from the kit. I'm going to bring in a sheet of paper here and show you some of the different elements. I took the one element and I multiplied them basically into my own background paper. Now, when I did this, I wasn't thinking background paper. I was thinking like Franken paper. I love it when junk journalers take paper and make Franken paper. But I didn't really do that. But that was my inspiration. And you could do that with this type of setup. All right. So first card, I'm taking some of those stamped strips that I had made. And I'm cutting them apart. This is a piece of gingham that is in the kit, and I love it. It's so beautiful. I love the color. In fact, I printed like 3 sheets of that because I knew I was going to be using it quite a bit. And I made a grid. I took it to my sewing machine and created this grid. And then I brought in a couple of stamp sets. One has hot air balloons and the other is the leaves. And here I'm trying to decide which one of these distress inks I wanted to use, and Pilled Paint 1. All right, so I am going to add some color and distress the edges here of this. I just wanted to bring in more color, and I wanted to use, as soon as I saw the hot air balloons, I just thought of sending smiles across the miles. I love that sentiment. And so I'm going to make my own pattern paper for the front of my card. And again, I wanted to use white paper and keep it clean and bring in light to the design. So I really like that contrast and how it just makes the other elements pop off the paper. This is the inside. So I'm taking this chili pepper and I am stamping it off to get a second generation ink color. And I am putting it on here. And I wanted to use the same sentiment in case people were like, well, what does the front say? And I thought they could figure it out this way. So I'm just going to glue all of this down. And I did distress with Pilled Paint around that white sheet that was on the inside. Again, just trying to tie everything in. I thought that that really helped sync it up with that front piece. And that's pretty much it. I do pop this piece up with some foam tape. And then I brought in this stamp die set. It looks like postage stamps, because I wanted to enhance that a little bit more, and I wanted to put one more sentiment on this card, and that says, "Thank goodness for you." This card I thought would be really great for with Thanksgiving coming up. You could send it to a friend, to a family member, and send them some smiles, and that was that one. Card number 2. All right, I left this in even though my card is a departure from what I originally had in mind. That happens. You know, I try to be really free and open in my craft room. And I always think, okay, this is a piece of paper. Why not play, right? So what I originally was going to do was like staple all of these to look like a bunch of tags had been used to create the card front. But right here, I knew it wasn't going to work, but it didn't stop me. I still did it. So I stapled all the pieces. And I didn't like it, but I already knew that I wasn't going to. But that's okay. So I cut these apart, and I ended up cutting all of the tags apart. So I have 3 tags now for another project. That's exciting. And And, you know, nothing really goes in my trash can unless it's actually trash. Like, I stick with it. I find a way to make things work. I'm crafty like that. So I'm thinking, okay, this could be a cool border on its own, but still I end up cutting it apart. So the concept I keep, but I did cut these apart. And here is a pocket that comes in the kit. And I just thought it was so cute, and I wanted to incorporate it into my card design. I have some other ideas about what I'm going to do with this as well, but in this card I kept it as a pocket. And I'm using my scoreboard here to make all the folding extra easy. And I love these types of pockets. They're so easy to assemble and put together. They're just brilliant. So here again, I'm just kind of lining things up. And it's really funny. I showed this to my husband. I was like, hey, can you tell what these are? And he's like, I have no idea. And I was like, great, okay. Well, maybe the card makers will know that they're tags. So to assemble this, I'm using a double-sided tape. And it's just super easy. And then I decided I wanted to bring in a little more sari silk and use that on the edge here. And it almost looks like a book, which is super cute, which gives me a whole nother idea of how to use this kit. When I got this kit, I seriously sat down. I have a special junk journal that I use for my ideas. And I just went to town, and in no time I had like 20 cards designed and I was ready to go. So because of my work schedule and the kids are homeschooled right now, I had to wait like 3 days to get to this point, but that's okay because, you know, it was worth the wait. I was very excited to play with this kit and to put all these ideas into action that I had. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue all of these down. I wanted to put them down before I put my pocket down. So yeah, I would love to hear in the comments below what you think about this card in particular, because it's so outside of my comfort zone and I think it's so different. And I think, of course, different is good, but I'd be curious what you think about it. Does it inspire you to make something similar, or what kind of departure would you make? I'm just really curious, because I know for me, this makes me think of my junk journaling so much, and I could see myself putting this in a junk journal, but never having made it into a card. So I'd just like to know what you think. So here I'm going to make a tag to go in the pocket, because you can't have an empty pocket, right? We got to put something in there. So I just make this cute little tag. It's very simple. You know, they're so easy to make on your own. You don't need a die. Just flip that corner over and you'll come out with a tag every time. Use a hole punch a hole in it. You're good to go. You could have tags for days. It's so easy. Okay, so I had this bow up there at the top that you see that I had made out of cheesecloth, and I'm going to attach that. And I used a stamp from this kit, stamp set, and I just thought they really tied in nicely with the card. And I wanted something big and bold at the top, so maybe somebody would try to pull on it if they weren't expecting their card to have a pocket. So I bring in a little more string, Again, trying to allude that this is supposed to be pulled on and taken out of the front there. Anyways, I'm going to bring in a sheet of cardstock that I had left over from another crafty session, and I'm going to pop that up on there. And that's pretty much my card front. It's so different and I like it. It's grown on me. I really wasn't sure at first. So I'm going to glue this down to a card base. Well, with tape. And then that one's pretty much done. I did decorate the inside. I took one of the 8.5 by 11 designs and printed 4 to a page. And that way I have an easy inside. All right, so I am going to use my standard size hole punch and punch all around this stamp image and make it look like it had been cut out with a die. And then I did die cut a hot air balloon, and I'm just going to separate it here because I want it to extend on both sides of that stamp. And I wanted it to overhang a little bit because that Harvest Fair ticket paper that I had made, I usually cut my paper so that I have a border around my cards. So I knew it would still fit on my card front if I extended it over the edge, which I really like to do that sometimes. It breaks up the rectangles. And here I'm just kind of eyeballing this and putting this down at the bottom. And I did stitch around that hot air balloon stamp image with my sewing machine, and then I popped this up with a sheet of foam. And then I have these paper bows that I have made, and I bring that in for an added embellishment up there at the top, and I just stick it down with some glue dots. And I like to leave my strings extra long when I sew. And so those are hanging down, and I love the way that looks. Okay, this is the 4th card. And this is my favorite. It fits my personality. Okay, so this girl does not come in the kit, but she is available in the shop. So you can get her and a whole group of girls, and actually there's a couple of different digital downloads to choose from. I chose these because I thought their outfits went for fall. They were the right colors. And as soon as I saw the kit and I saw the girls, I just thought they were perfect together. So I've got her, and she's contemplating, right? It seems like, anyways. And then I had printed the stamped images in different sizes because I figured I might do some fussy cutting. So she's standing here contemplating all of those pumpkins. And then I brought in a stamp set from Pink and Maine, and I wanted it for the sentiments at first because it's a pumpkin spice thing. And now I'm showing you here that I just drew my own thought bubble. I did not need a special die for this. It's just, you know, it's pretty easy to do. You guys can do it. You don't need anything special. But I used a different sentiment. Hey, cutie pie. And she's eyeballing those pumpkins. And then on the inside, it's happy pumpkin spice season. And so then I did, sometimes I color up a load of stamped images, and then I put them back in my stamp container packaging so I can use them at a later time, which is what I had done here. So that was convenient. I could just grab them. I ended up putting those in here because I thought it really kind of drove home my design idea. So I'm just going to add all those variations of what you can do with some pumpkins. And I stitched around And that's the inside of that card. And I just love it. It's funny and comical, and it's fantastic. So I did end up going back later, and this is the inside for the hot air balloon card. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and so sometimes if I don't know, I put it to the side and I wait. So that's what I had done here. All right, here we are. You made it. And these are the 4 cards I came up with. I kind of like that, you know, they're all for something different, you know, as far as the sentiment and how you can use them, even though they're all from the same kit. And this was just so much fun to play with. I love how it stretched my creativity, and, you know, it was just so much fun. I definitely encourage you to check it out and go to the shop, check it out, try it out. I have so many ideas. I really think it just lends itself to so many wonderful fall cards. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe, please check out Tailored Made Cards for You. Thank you, Monica. I had so much fun. I can't wait to do it again.